is Alina, Junejo, and I'm the president for the Infection Prevention Control Foundation USA. With great honor, I welcome you all to the International COVID-19 Youth Conference 2020. I'm glad to introduce this conference to you all today as we face a reality in which most of us are stressed out and concerned about this pandemic. We are so excited for all the great speakers and panelists we have today. The Infection Prevention Control Foundation is a nonprofit committed to reducing the spread of infectious diseases, especially in third world countries. But there's so much to be done here in the United States as well. We hope to focus on preventative health by using our motto of educate to eradicate. COVID-19 has impacted all of us greatly. We have organized this conference to provide an opportunity for the youth to share their ideas and experiences in dealing with the COVID-19 pandemic. The program is designed to include all the areas of the life of the youth that were impacted by the COVID-19 pandemic. This conference is going to provide youth a platform to organize, speak, and participate in meaningful discussions and interactive activities, including the new normal students are experiencing in schools, the experiences of frontline doctors and medical students, youth initiatives in leadership, mental health, and socioeconomic effects of COVID-19. Clearly, schools across the country have had to change the way in which they deliver education, transforming the way students learn and process new information. Moreover, youth are experiencing many outside stresses that add to this confusing environment for them, which further emphasizes the importance of taking care of one's mental health. There have also been many youth that have shown their leadership in exceptional ways that we would like to bring attention to. It is my pleasure to invite Dr. Shafi, Chairman, Board of Trustees of the IPAC Foundation, to give an opening speech and to introduce us to the speakers and panelists who will be a part of this conference from all the world, sharing their thoughts, insights, and opinions with us.
I'm Dr. Shafi, Chairman of the Infection Prevention Control Foundation. I welcome you all to International COVID-19 Youth Conference. The virtual conference is organized by IPAC USA. IPAC is a registered 501c non-for-profit organization which is striving to reduce the burden of infectious disease from third world countries. Our motto is, prevention is better than cure. COVID-19 has brought unique challenges that has affected every segment of the society. COVID-19 has high disease burden, high morbidity, and mortality. It has brought new norms in the society which are difficult to adapt to. International COVID-19 Youth Conference will provide an opportunity for the youth to share their ideas and experiences in dealing with COVID-19 pandemic. The program is designed to include all areas of life of the youth that are being impacted by COVID-19 pandemic. The conference is going to provide the youth a platform to organize, speak, and participate in meaningful discussions and interactive activities, including COVID care art competition and exhibition. I would like to thank you all for watching the conference, as well as like to thank all the distinguished speakers and participants of the panel discussion for their valuable input and sparing time for the conference. Lastly, I would like to thank the organizers of the meeting as well as the IT support team of the IPAC Foundation for making this conference possible and a huge success. Thank you very much.
Good day. My name is William Walsh, and I am a high school principal. I work in a suburban high school just outside Chicago. We meet the academic needs of almost 2,800 students here at school, and we have about 220 licensed staff and another 100 so support staff on our campus. Thank you for having me here to provide a perspective on teaching, learning, and operating a school during a global pandemic. Creating a return to school plan during a global pandemic is a comprehensive initiative that requires communication, collaboration, resources, and more communication. As you could sense, communication is the common theme to successfully bring students on campus and meet their academic needs. Communication and collaboration must occur with teachers, any unionized staff, including support staff. Communication must occur with our parents, with our students, with our community, and with our Board of Education, who oversees the instructional process here at our school. As this is my first time planning an instructional environment during a global pandemic, our planning team learned much. We adapted, continue to gather data, and continue to adapt our plan as we learn more about what is important or what is necessary during a global pandemic. One factor that consistently occurs during the COVID-19 pandemic is there is no one right way to meet the needs of students. Each person, whether it's a teacher, a support staff, a parent, a student, or a community member, even a Board of Education member, has their own perspective, their own story, their own opinion on how to meet the needs of our students. Education, in particular teaching and learning, is not a one way fits everyone. It's meeting the individual needs of our students and adapting to how students are learning. This makes it extremely challenging during a global pandemic, as we're trying to create a learning environment that meets the needs of 2,800 students, 220 licensed staff, and the other 100 support staff that support those students. Creating an environment that is supportive to a student's academic, social, and emotional needs on campus. Again, there isn't one right way to do it. But what we do know is if we work together, we collaborate, and we focus on the needs of our students, we can create an environment that is supportive of our students. Due to these multiple perspectives, communication is the one element we could control. As we continue to meet throughout it with our teams from March all the way through today, we had to have constant communication with the other groups that are impacted by the decisions we are making, the recommendations that we are making. Gathering those opinions, whether it was through surveys, whether it was through straw polls, or whether it was through voicemails and emails, or whether it was through meeting people in a virtual environment, was important to understand how families and students feel about the instructional environment offered by their public school system. Therefore, as we began to rethink our instructional environment, the primary concerns of our high school were to center on academics, student engagement in extracurricular activities, and the safety measures that we were putting in place to operationally function as a school environment. I wanted to start today with a conversation around academics. When we think of academics, we often think of textbooks, assessments, and the end outcomes that we expect of our students. However, academics is a lot more broad, way more broad than just that. And it became particularly clear during a global pandemic how much academics are a part of every student's daily life. When we speak of academics, I want us to think about 5 key themes: equity, instructional environment, assessments, instructional time, and instructional skills and content. Academics in a global pandemic has to be made available to all, and that's where equity comes in. The financial resources and the available resources are not standard for all students. Depending on a student's home life or home condition, equity of academics can become a very disparate problem. For example, some students may have no internet access and therefore, or no Wi-Fi access, and therefore no ability to log in and complete an online instructional environment. Other students might have a limited number of Wi-Fi access, meaning, depending on how large your household is, multiple people accessing the same internet outage or availability impacts that equity as well. In addition, we have an instructional environment. Having students on campus and meeting their day-to-day needs face-to-face is by far the best way to support a student. However, an instructional environment during a global pandemic requires us to rethink this. How do we meet the needs of students in a virtual environment? And how do we meet the needs of students who maybe come onto campus? Today, we currently have 25% of our students on campus each day, meaning 75% of the classroom is logging in from a remote environment. And the responsibility falls on the teacher to find and support the students in front of them, as well as the students that are online. Providing professional development to meet the needs of the teacher and find ways that they can provide the needs of, or meet the needs of their students was a very challenging factor. With this came assessments. A teacher's traditional mode of assessing is paper pencil. It might have been an essay, it might have been a multiple choice, true, false, project-based, you name it. The number of assessments in the form of summative assessments that we provide that provide data as to where students are at is critical. Providing assessments in an online or virtual environment became much more challenging as teachers had to address academic integrity and how to provide assessments that gave valuable feedback to where students are at. Lastly, under academics was the instructional time and the content and skills that are going to be available. With so much professional development needed for teachers to create an instructional environment and assessments for their kids, we had to steal time from the instructional day for the teachers to meet that professional time. Therefore, there may be less content or less instructional time or less skills being provided directly to the students. Another factor, as I said, was student engagement, in particular in extracurriculars. Creating an athletic program and an activity program that will support our students was critical to their social and emotional well-being. Finding a way for students to engage in things outside of the classroom was ultimately a part of how a school functions. We just completed 6 sports activities right now for our fall season in athletics, And our clubs and activities are meeting both virtually and in person, making sure that we have all the resources available to meet their social and emotional needs. Lastly, as we think about a school environment and instructional environment, we have to think of safety measures. All students and staff are required to wear masks when they're on campus, in their classrooms. All students must remain 6 feet apart, both in the classrooms and in the hallways. And all students are required to wear ID badges so that we can recognize them or identify them while they are wearing a mask. In addition, we provide hand sanitation stations throughout the campus. Every classroom has a hand sanitizer, and corners and other areas throughout the hallways have hand sanitizing stations. And we do nightly cleanings of our classrooms. Again, thank you for the opportunity to talk today. I look forward to the dialogue we're going to have. Again, my name is William Walsh, principal of a high school just outside Chicago. Thank you.